Why is this happening? So one of the explanation for this effect is the expectation reality gap, and this is what it is. So we have, depending on all those three layers and sources of acquired values, when they promote their values, they promise a reward. Let's say if you do great in school, you'll be happy in life. If you always show toughness, you'll be well respected by your colleagues, and so on. So they always come with a specific promise of a reward, which raises our expectations how those values will then influence our life and our reality. But then what happens is that this rich feeling of satisfaction is missing, and this is what we call expectation reality gap. So those acquired values, which are based on persistent voices of our surrounding that promise good and happy life if we do some things and avoid other things, very often do not bring us the same level of happiness as they are promised. And now, because I have two small kids and this is something really relevant to my life now, I'm going to show you how it looks like in my life now. So this is what we expect that we get, and this is inevitably the result that we get when we try to make these nice baby photos that we see in the internet. So why do we have this expectation reality gap? We studied that also in more details. There are two things that we want to mention when we talk about acquired values. So events that are rooted in our acquired values give us only intense but short-lived spikes of happiness and satisfaction. As you can see here in this diagram, let's say something great happened that satisfied one of our acquired values, and we experience this boost of energy and satisfaction, but it quickly fades away. The effect goes back to the original levels very fast. And we call the life based on acquired values, life of peaks and values. And then opposite to that, when we do things that are in alignment with our core values, we have a total different situation. These core values give us lasting satisfaction. The positive effects accumulate over time. It doesn't necessarily have to be that strong, but it does accumulate over time. And there is a very short exercise how you can test that, how you can feel this long-lasting effect of the core values. So let's say, try to remember something that you really wanted to buy 10 years ago, whatever it be, a designer's bag or a book or whatever that you really wanted, and or a house or a boat or whatever. And how does that feel 10 years later? We can barely recall this great feeling that we had at the moment that when we maybe bought this thing. But then in contrast to that, if you remember things that were rooted in your core values, let's say you helped someone who was really in need 10 years ago, and if you or did something or said something that really changed and helped this person create better life for themselves, when you remember this at this moment, it will still give you this feeling of satisfaction and great feeling that you did something that was rooted in your core values. So this is this long-term cumulative effect of your core values.